Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. Hey, you guys have talked and I have listened. That's a great thing about this community, right? We posted a video not long ago called Smashed versus Thick or Thin versus Thick Burgers. And my whole idea about that video was basically like, you could have a thin smash burger that's juicy when done correctly. That's phenomenal. It's not about squeezing the juice out and all that stuff. I don't know if that idea or the thought behind the process got missed in the video, but one thing that stood out more than anything was my community with the grill slash griddle, however they want to put it together, okay? If you had a thick burger, I want it on charcoal grill. If I want a smash burger, I want it on the griddle. And that comment kept resonating.
Reappearing?
Thank you. That's not the word, but that's close enough.
Resonating? I don't know if that's the word you're looking for either, though.
Most of them aren't. But that kept coming through my head. So here's the day. Welcome to griddle versus charcoal grill burgers. Which one's best? All right, so here we are. We have fresh 80/20 chuck style hamburgers. There's about 6 to 8 ounce piece, plus we have them broken off into 3 ounce balls. Let me show you how we got to this stage. To make this competition a little bit more serious, we got a ground chuck here. I'm gonna slice it, chunk it up, and we're gonna throw it in the freezer. Typically a good, nice marbled ground chuck is gonna get you pretty close to 80/20. So all I'm doing now is just basically gonna throw it in the freezer for a couple minutes. Maybe about 35, 45 minutes, something like that. Smaller pieces so it can grind up easier. Just spread them out a little even and we're throwing it in the freezer. Right. So we have the meat in the freezer. We have our charcoal grill briquettes lit and they're doing its thing. So I thought I would make a quick Smashburger sauce style burger sauce and just show you guys a couple little ideas. We did not have pickles that were the rings. We just had the dill or the spears. So here we go. Fine dice, and then we're gonna mix our ingredients. Obviously the ratios are dependent on what you like. You know, some people like a lot of pickles, some people don't. So I'm just eyeballing it. I just basically just looked at 3 burgers and said, that looks good to me. Not a big deal. Get it?
Not a big deal.
I'll be here all day, folks. Simply put, when we're talking about sauce, typically it's 1 part
mayo,
half part ketchup, and we're using this mustard today. I kind of like it sweet and spicy. Typically, I like to add horseradish to my sauce. I think it just gives that little extra like kick, almost like a comeback style burger sauce. But we're out of the horseradish today, so that will work. A couple globes of Worcestershire sauce. It's that beef theme. You little shake that in there. It's just a good all-purpose seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, and butter. Some people like to use sweet relish. I kind of stay away from the sweet notes. That looks good. We're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator and then we'll start grinding our beef. We have our meat grinder set up. I've got it set up on coarse and of course with the coarse. I don't have it plugged in, of course. All right, we got our meat grinder set up. I've got a large dial right here set up. Give it about a medium speed. All right, this is our first grind. We did it on our large thing. I just bought a standard like meat grinding kit online that attaches my KitchenAid. It's not the KitchenAid brand, but it works for me for now. I don't do a lot of grinding, but I do think it helps or is worth it when you want to do it. So that's the large grind. We backed it off to the medium grind. We're gonna put this in there and let it go twice. So this is the first time, this will be the second time.
So first time on coarse grind, second time on medium grind.
Right. I'm not a big fan of the fine grind, especially when I'm doing it my own. But this does help reincorporate the fat a little bit more. Makes your meat a little bit more tacky. Now that your meat's ground up, I'm just gonna kind of come in here and warm it up just a hair. Move it around. It kind of tacks up your meat a little bit. Show you really quick. You'll start noticing it pulling away from the bowl. Kind of like the idea of pasta, right? Put it in the food processor. Once it starts pulling away from the bowl, just warms that fat up, kind of helps incorporates it into the meat. And there you go. See that right there? See the difference? Okay. We're going pretty large balls, probably like close to 6 to 8 ounces.
Now these are not going to be for the Smashburgers.
No, these are going to be for our thick burgers. All right, we got this silicone ring here. It's kind of like a cheat sheet. I just put my ground beef in there. It'll help form it. And then once it's out, I can gauge the thickness of what I like. Maybe just a little bit less. Something like that, okay? So that might need a hair more. All right, pat it down. Keeps it formed. Very simple. We're gonna put a little dimple inside of it. So when it smokes and it balloons up, kind of just like that. Really quickly, I'm just guessing, I do it enough. Throwing about 3 ounces of meat down for our Smashburgers.
So we're going to do 2 of each kind of burger?
Nah, we're just doing some burgers. I know the kids are gonna like them. I just don't know if you can start the grill up the whole day and only put 1 burger on it.
I know. What else do we have we can put on the grill?
Along with that, today we're using Pepperidge Farm brioche buns. We've been a big brioche bun fan when it comes to burgers. We get asked all the time, you know, if you're going to have a great burger, what's a great bun to go with it?
Only a brioche bun.
There are advantages, not advantages. Some brioche buns are better than others, but brioche the whole way. I would pick up brioche over any bun. And these from Pepperidge Farm are absolutely fantastic. All right, cheeses today, because I know people have an absolute conniption when I use American cheese. So we have cheddar cheese today that's going to go on the Smashburger. And this smokehouse cheddar I thought would be a nice pairing for the smoked burger. We're going to do 2 burgers on the grill today. We're using the Weber setup. I've got my Weber Summit charcoal grill, and we're going to use the Weber griddle. The idea behind this was, I agree. I completely agree with what you guys are saying. Like, there's nothing wrong with a good, thick, flame-kissed burger. And I think it's getting lost in the mix. Hence, why we're doing the video. So, since we're going to have the smoker or the grill on low, I'm going to do reverse sear. I'm going to smoke it to an internal temperature of about 110 degrees. And then we're going to finish it off with flame about 130 to 135. When that flame's up and roaring, I'm going to go put a brand new patty on. So we have like a flame kiss burger all the way through, along with a reverse seared style burger. And then we're going to do a smash burger on the Weber griddle and taste all those together. You guys good with that? All right, really quickly, we have our grill set up to the smoke mode. For the new beginners out there with grills and or stuff like that, I've got a 2 burner system. Almost like the idea of a snake method. I've got very little coals lit. I've got my damper set accordingly. And we're going to hover about 225 to 250. I am going to only do 1 of those for right now, okay? To do that, we're going to use that Smash That seasoning. It's just a good all-purpose burger seasoning. Generous coat on both sides. I'm not going to season the rest of the burgers yet because this will take a while to cook. All right, I'm going to place that one right there. And then the other ones that you see on the grill at this time are just for family. That's the one we're focused on. We have pulled these burgers off. This is the one I'm specifically looking for. I opened my Weber kettle. It's getting all that oxygen, getting those flames going on the coals, so that way we can finish with a hot sear. The Weber has been turned on for the griddle, and then this is the idea. We got our Smashburgers I'll season on the griddle, and these are going to be flame kissed. Since these burgers are so thick, I'm just running around the edges. That way everything gets coated nicely. Let's come over here and look really quick. Ooh, it's hot. Our charcoal right now is nicely lit, so I'm going to place these burgers right on top. We're Add a little butter down to toast our brioche buns. For some people out there, they kind of like the fact that I teach you something versus just cooking. The one thing I like about a Weber kettle, especially the round version, you notice since we have our fire over here, we have plenty of space over here. It's called a two-zone system. If your burgers start catching fire too much from the fat dripping off, look how we can adjust just like this and just get them right over the coals, kiss them, and move them around. I know it doesn't seem like a big thing. It helps prevent a lot of grease fires because you have somewhere to put your burgers. And also, too, you really can control the temp a lot better than what you would imagine based on just being able to move it around like this. I do it with steaks, a lot of times with seafood as well. Just a little tit for tat. Tick? Is that a tick?
Yep.
Our burgers right here are very close to getting done. I'm going to take that reverse seared burger, put it right there. Probably one more flip. Smokehouse cheddar. Ooh, it smells good. Regular cheddar cheese. Very simply dressed. They're all going to get dressed the same way. The actual grilled burger, and then the reverse seared smoked burger. All right, guys, there you go. So we got the smash, we got the grilled, and we got the smoked. Just cut these in half really quick. I tried to leave the grilled more of a medium rare. The smoked was a little bit harder to maintain. Cheesy, beefy.
Dibs on that one.
So there's our medium rare grilled. And then there's our reverse seared. Oh, there you go. Didn't come out too bad.
Beautiful.
I got lucky. I think I'm going for the reverse seared first. My heart's been set on it. That's a lot of time and labor and love just for a simple burger. But you know what? If it's a beautiful day like it is today, crack open the cold ones, watch TV, watch some sports, and put something on the grill.
Let's see. That one's better than the reverse seared. Smoked.
Right? I'm not crazy.
The char.
And this also goes to show you, it's not about it's thin versus better than thick. I agree with all the comments. Sometimes when you want a thick burger, it's changing the game from a griddle to a smoker or a grill.
Smashburger.
It's just different.
It's just better. Smashburger, hands down.
My daughter just walked inside and said, "Dad, your Smashburger's better than your grilled burger." And I was like,
That's why you buy a griddle. I mean,
for the time frame it took to do a single burger and to reverse sear it, I don't think it got that charred because I was scared to overcook it. So it didn't necessarily get flame kiss as much. The charcoal grilled burger brings back so many memories because you got to remember the average person our age, which Amy's older than me, like by a long
I am not. I am
long
not.
shot. Her generation never even had a griddle growing up, so they fondly remember the charcoal style or even gas grill hamburgers. Maybe it's the extra cheese, maybe it's a little bit more seasoning,
I think it's just the extra
the
flavor.
Maillard reaction.
I agree. All the extra time for smoking the burger and then searing it is not worth it.
Mm-mm. The one thing we haven't talked about is the texture and the flavor of the chuck doing it ourselves. You never even thought about it, did you?
I did. It is very good flavor on the thick burgers. You don't notice it on the smash burger.
I didn't think so either. I think the tenderness comes through. I think it is a little bit more tender, got a little bit more softer chew to it. I really appreciate this video because it lets me know that you guys are paying attention, and hopefully you guys know that I'm paying attention. I heard you loud and clear. Loud and clear. If you want a thick burger, you go the grill route. If you want a thin burger, you go the griddle route, and that's what we did today. If you guys are interested, we have a join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this journey. I really appreciate the back and forth with you guys, and it just, I think, helps me be a better person behind the camera. Check us out on The Griddle Group on Facebook, is where we talk about griddles or where we talk about grills, smokers. What about this? What about that? What if you combine the two? What if a big thick burger goes on the charcoal grill? You guys get the idea. We talk about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Smashburger for the win.
Yeah.